The Young and the Restless spoilers Friday, November 15. Sharon possessed for confession. Jack and Diane exposed. Jill's mama bear vengeance. Is she dealing Chancellor to Victor or setting him up? Claire's mental health tipping point. Jordan's influence wins out. Felicitations to all Young and the Restless suckers. Do not forget to subscribe for the rearmost updates. The Young and the Restless spoilers for Friday, November 15 reveal that Kyle Abbott should blow his top over Diane Jenkins Abbott's advertisement. Following Diane's claims that she now controls Glissade and is firing Kyle, he'll inescapably turn to Victor Newman for evidence. Kyle might argue that this can't conceivably be true, so perhaps Victor will admit it isn't. Maybe Victor will argue that Diane and Jack Abbott's marriage conflict isn't real either before exposing their scheme. Victor tends to be a many way ahead in any chess game, so this would be a clever way for him to bust Diane and Jack while admitting he's known the verity each on. It could be a situation where Victor has been manipulating Jack and Diane right back. Whatever the case, Diane and Jack are indeed in cahoots on a plan that's about to get exposed on Friday's Yandar occasion. Indeed, if Victor isn't the bone who busts them, Diane and Jack's plot will come to light ever. Speaking of plots, Jordan and Ian Ward have teamed up on one of their own, so the show will ultimately have to offer updates on how this alliance came together. In the meantime, let's talk about Sharon Newman and the tight spot she'll land in. After summoning Nick Newman to the cabin, Sharon will face further questions about how she knew Phyllis Summers crashed. Sharon may be tempted to slip the whole unattractive story, including word regarding Heather Stevens and Daniel Romalotti Jr., but will she really make a full concession? Sharon will clearly have to confess commodity, indeed if she gives an altered interpretation of events and tries to throw Nick off the trail. Nick will at least want to know how Sharon knew Phyllis was hurt before he ever said her name. It's possible that Sharon will back out of indicting herself in the end. Sharon might claim she saw someone additional beget the crash before rushing home to find her phone for a 911 call. Also again, there's a chance Sharon will unmask her guts if she truly can't take it presently. Either way, Jordan appears to be the bone who caused Phyllis' crash, rather grounded on her comment to Ian. Eventually, Victor will celebrate adding Chancellor to the Newman conglomerate, so he might make a formal marriage event advertisement and continue to pour swab in Billy Abbott's crack. The Young and the Restless spoilers say Jill Abbott's decision will stir up indeed further trouble, so we'll bring you prognostications on the fallout of her bad news. The Young and the Restless spoilers Jill's mama bear vengeance. Is she dealing Chancellor to Victor or setting him up? The Young and the Restless spoilers remind suckers that Jill Abbott may know Billy Abbott can be a wild card when it comes to business. But she also loves her son and believes he has what it takes to run a successful company. After all, that's why she placed him at the head of Abbott, Chancellor to begin with. She also signed him to the Empire in the first place, so she'd have a voice amongst all the Winters who were firstly part of Winters, Chancellor. On the other side of the coin, Jill knows just how sneaky and manipulative Victor Newman can be. These two do not only have a history when it comes to business, but also romantic trials. This is why the Wednesday, November 13 occasion has had so numerous suckers shocked and skeptical about Jill's rearmost move. Is Jill really ready to hand over Abbott, Chancellor to Victor? She's been burned multiple times by him, and she has to know one of the main reasons he wants her company is to knock Billy off a cut or two and fully cheapen him. Victor has had a major vendetta with Billy for times now, not to mention his aged family, Jack Abbott. While Jill has had her fair share of health issues, recently, suckers shouldn't count out that her designing side could come out roaring. What if Jill is simply swerving Victor into thinking she'd vend Abbott, Chancellor, only to rip the hairpiece from right under him? As of this jotting, it's hard to tell if Jill has inked a contract yet or not. She also isn't exactly musketeers with Victor, so she may have a massive vengeance scheme of her own up her sleeve to ensure that Victor is hit hard and stays down from any Chancellor preemption ideas for good. The Young and the Restless spoilers note that suckers are only midway through November reaches, and there's still plenitude of marvels the cleaner could pull out. Jill swerving Victor into believing he's got his hands on Chancellor, only to sterify Billy straight could be a plot twist on the horizon. The Young and the Restless spoilers Claire's mental health tipping point. Jordan's influence wins out. The Young and the Restless spoilers reveal that Claire Newman may not be suitable to escape her history. Although Claire has tried to part herself from her old life with Jordan, her aunt's influence may loiter and affect her just formerly again. Claire has been given plenitude of support from her family since the whole Verity came out. It's clear that Claire has been embraced as a Newman and given an alternate chance despite her former schemes. Still, Claire's designing side could come back around for many different reasons. For starters, there's no denying that this interpretation of Claire is less intriguing than the former Bone. Claire had some fascinating layers when she first came on the show. We saw an interpretation of Claire who could play innocent on the face, but she was actually relatively manipulative and able of some truly terrible effects. Young and the Restless really gave Haley Aaron an occasion to show off her acting chops back when Claire was concentrated on completing Jordan's charge. Although Claire may not be under Jordan's control presently, the assignments she's learned could still affect her opinions moving forward. It's one thing for Claire to be this perfect angel when everything's going her way. Claire's life is about as good as it gets right now, but what happens if everything starts to fall piecemeal? There's no guarantee that Victoria Newman and Cole Howard are going to get this fairy tale happy ending that Claire wants. Claire's joyful family bubble may burst sooner or laterly. Of course, there's also a good chance that Kyle Abbott and Summer Newman are going to wind up back together. Losing Kyle could help shoot Claire over the edge as well. Still, they could strip down her Newman status if Young and the Restless really wanted to seal the deal on Claire's breakdown. The show could make it so there was a mistake with the DNA test results and undo Claire being a Newman in the end. There's no guarantee that'll be, but the point is that Claire's life is bound to head upwardly ultimately. This is a cleaner, so Claire may face some fermentation that she can't handle, and that could serve as an internal health tilting point down the road. The Young and the Restless spoilers say Claire's downcast curl could be coming in line following Sharon Newman's own internal health extremity. Thanks for watching these vids. Please hit the subscribe button for further streamlined news.